Okay, I do remember getting into some history with this guy Initius EOWE, and I remember we talking about in the previous video of spots where he was clearly getting out of line against another player. But one of the things that I was emphasizing was that he hadn't really been getting out of line against Sam. Like with this 4-bet here, this is another spot that I would expect, given the dynamic that we have with Initius, that he's never going to be shoving a worse hand here. And that, like, with the times that you do get it in, you're going to be up against ace king or pocket jacks or queens or kings or something like that pretty often. Yeah, it's certainly not bad to just 4-bet ace queen against someone that you know is going to be occasionally 3-betting white from the blinds. But given the situation and how we don't, like, you should be 4-betting people because they're, like, you're trying to combat them from 3-betting you too frequently, and essentially you want to be protecting your opens. And the more that they're 3-betting you, the more that you want to be able to protect those opens and fight back. But we don't really have that much of a need to protect our opens against someone who hasn't really been 3-betting us that much. So given that, and given the fact that because he hasn't been 3-betting us that much, he's not going to be that prone to have that weak of a hand as often as a lot of you guys might think. I just think calling's the right play here, and I don't really want to 4-bet. I mean, especially when we're suited, because that's going to give us more opportunities to win the pot post-flop by doing stuff like floating flops with one heart and picking up a heart draw on the turn and shoving, or well, I guess that's all that we can really do with the heart draw. But like, say we flop 2 hearts or something. It's another spot where, when I was talking about in the top right, where I just call and hope to improve to the best hand, but also hope that he might that he will represent my hand when I do get there. And additionally, expect him to be doing some check folding on turns that are bad for him, or when a good card for our range falls. So mostly I've been playing lately on Bodog. Bodog's really the one site that I really trust the most of pretty much all of the sites available to us as American players right now. The owner, Calvin Ayer, I really think has his stuff together as far as understanding the laws that are governing these situations with the crackdowns, and I think that he's just kind of a step ahead of the rest of the other poker sites, and I really like a lot of things that Bodog's done with the way that they manage their site. Stuff like how they limit you to 4 tables, so there's never going to be a problem with like massive, like, guys that want to mass table, short stack, and then rat hole. It's just, there's no incentive for them to do it because they can only sit at 4 tables. That, I mean, obviously it sucks that there's no rake back, or there's like 10% rake back that they offer, which, I mean, it's not particularly optimal for regular grinders, but if you're an American, you should be playing multiple sites. In any case, the other thing about limiting the tables is that it keeps the games alive, and just because, like, the regs can't multiply themselves by 16 tables or whatever, and play against as many fish as they want. You have to be working the lobby a lot more, and you have to be table selecting. I guess all I was trying to say is that I like what Bodog's doing, and they're the site that I'd recommend that most of you guys play on. Those of you who are Americans who are still trying to play for a living. The King Jack, I mean, obviously 4-betting's okay. but this isn't a hand that I normally 4-bet. Given that we don't have any... Oh, this is the Alfredo guy who we actually just got into. He just 3-bet us, and then we raised him on the flop. Let me think about whether or not I like the 4-bet right after that. I guess it would, like, if I'm Alfredo and I just 3-bet you, and then you called and then raised the flop and I folded, and now I'm 3-betting you again and you're 4-betting me, I'm really, like, maybe I'll probably, like, if I don't have a hand, I'm obviously gonna fold this time, but I'm gonna assume from this point on that you're going kind of crazy and that you should, and that I'm not going to be folding to you again in the future. So I think that this 4-bet was okay. But like, if he 3-bets us again, I would steer clear of it.